You are not what happens to you, but how you choose to respond to what happens through you. And that is the thought for today. Welcome to 7 Good Minutes. I'm Clyde Lee Dennis. Thanks for joining me for what I believe will be 7 of the most enriching minutes of your day. In today's episode of 7 Good Minutes, we talk about not letting the day decide who you are. Enjoy. The alarm sounds, and within moments, the day begins making decisions for you. An urgent email shifts your priorities. A traffic jam changes your mood. A difficult conversation rewrites your energy. Before you know it, you're not living your day. Your day is living you. By the end of this episode, you'll understand how to reclaim your personal authority and ensure that who you are remains steady, regardless of what the day brings your way. There's a subtle but profound difference between responding to life and being hijacked by it. When we wake up without intention, without a clear sense of who we choose to be, we become like leaves in the wind. Beautiful perhaps, but completely at the mercy of whatever forces happen to blow our way. Think about yesterday. How much of who you were was determined by external circumstances? Did a rude comment make you irritable for hours? Did unexpected good news lift your spirits, only to have them crash when the next challenge appeared? Did you find yourself becoming someone you didn't recognize, simply because the day demanded it? This isn't about becoming emotionally numb or pretending that external events don't affect us. It's about understanding that there's a difference between being influenced by life and being defined by it. You can acknowledge that traffic is frustrating without letting that frustration become your identity for the next 3 hours. You can feel disappointed by setbacks without allowing disappointment to dictate your entire approach to the day. The key lies in establishing your inner foundation before the day has a chance to shake it. This means taking time each morning to reconnect with your core values, your deeper intentions, and the person you want to be regardless of circumstances. It's about anchoring yourself in something more stable than the shifting winds of daily events. Consider this. Who are you when no one is watching? When nothing is demanding your attention? When you're simply present with yourself? That person, that authentic, centered version of you, doesn't disappear just because the day gets complicated. But without conscious effort, that person can get buried under layers of reaction and response. When you let the day decide who you are, you're essentially handing over your personal power to whatever happens to show up. You become a victim of circumstances rather than a conscious participant in your own life. Your mood becomes dependent on external validation. Your peace becomes contingent on everything going smoothly. Your sense of self becomes as fragile as your daily schedule. But there's another way. You can choose to be the author of your character, regardless of the plot twists life writes into your story. This doesn't mean controlling outcomes. It means maintaining your integrity, your values, and your chosen way of being, no matter what outcomes arise. Start by identifying your non-negotiables. What aspects of your character do you want to remain constant? Perhaps it's kindness, even when others are unkind. Maybe it's curiosity, even when facing the familiar. It could be patience, even when everything feels urgent. These become your anchors, the parts of yourself that remain steady while everything else shifts around you. Practice the pause. When something happens that typically would sweep you into reaction, take a breath and ask yourself, who do I want to be in this moment? Not what do I want to do, not how do I want to respond, but who do I want to be? This simple question reconnects you with your deeper self and gives you space to choose your response rather than defaulting to reaction. Remember that consistency in character doesn't mean rigidity in response. You can be authentically yourself while still adapting to different situations. The goal isn't to become unchanging, but to ensure that any changes come from conscious choice rather than unconscious reaction. Your day will present you with 1,000 opportunities to forget who you are. It will offer you reasons to be smaller, angrier, more fearful, or less compassionate than your true self. These aren't failures of the day. They're invitations to remember your power to choose. Don't let the day decide who you are. You are not the sum of what happens to you. You are the conscious response to what happens through you. That's where your true power lies. And that's where your authentic self waits to be expressed. That does it for today's episode of 7 Good Minutes. Please take a moment to rate and review the show on the platform you're listening on. Until next time, let's be civil to one another out there. Thanks for listening.